All right, happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Oil Stream. Dusty and Tom Gazzola with you. We are here at the Namao Boston Pizza. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're around the area and you want to swing by for lunch, swing on by for lunch today. It was funny. Huss on the lock shop was telling me, he goes, man, he said Friday during the deadline was his flu game. He was not feeling well.
Oh,
Powered through deadline day for
yeah.
Winnipeg Sports Talk. Was out of commission for like 48 hours. And then he said he got up on Sunday and got back to normal. I went to Boston Pizza, had Boston Brute and barbecued wings.
Classic.
And I was like, you've been like on death's doorstep for 48 hours, and Huss just slides right back in.
That's a seasoned vet right there.
It is.
And they did great numbers. Like, they had a huge deadline day. We had great numbers too. So a lot of people.
Yeah. No, it was great. Yeah.
But I was looking at Winnipeg Sports Talk, man. People are catching on. They know where to go for their news and information. That's good.
For your news and information, we do have another keyword coming up for your chance to get in a trip to Vegas. Get in the mix on this bad boy. We've done 3 qualifiers already today. We got a 4th one coming up here on the Oil Stream as well today. And be ready for that. We'll probably do that just after 12:30 on the Oil Stream today. That'll be your 4th keyword. All you have to do is text it in 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you have any thoughts, comments on the deadline, the weekend for the Oilers, how the new guys have looked, we can do it all right here on the Oil Stream today. You can text us 780-218-9999. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can slide into the nasty chat as well, where Sobkirks is in and says, Northside Tommy in his element.
He's right.
Is that what you're in right now?
Yeah, as soon as I got to 97th Street, I was like, Daddy's home.
Is that it? Like you turn up 97th Street and head north. This is your hood?
Yeah, coming from down. Actually, I was coming from our studios at Global HQ, obviously.
What'd you do? Did you take Yellowhead?
I took 111th all the way to 97th.
111. Okay.
It worked out pretty good.
I went up and took Yellowhead over. That construction there. Should have taken 111th.
Yeah, it worked out really good. If you're a Northsider, you know these things.
Yeah. I don't. All right.
No, I don't.
I'm such a noob.
You're on the south side.
Yeah, I'm a West Ender.
You are
since I moved here. West Ender.
It's all good. You don't choose the north side. The north side chooses you.
Yeah, is that Big Uke?
I think that's
Big Uke.
Oh,
Big Uke strutting on in
presence
here.
Will be
He's
felt.
probably sitting in his truck watching Lock Shop.
Yeah.
Or listening to the Lock Shop, which I love.
It does feel good to be back on the north side. My dad and my uncle would be here, but our grandma passed away on Thursday. Yeah, so they're taking care of that. But yeah, this is great. And it's Monday. It's kind of a quiet Monday, but a beautiful Monday. So
it's a very nice Monday.
Yeah. There he is, Big
It's
U.
very, very, very nice Monday. There's
Hello, Big U.
Wearing that AM Nasty hoodie, too. You love to see it.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
What's up with this little goatee and mustache you got going on right now?
Oh, I didn't mean to do this.
Are you sure? You can't see it anyway, but
it's
like to me, it's very noticeable. Yeah.
I'm just exhausted, dude.
So have you shaved your cheeks, or is this just?
I might have on Saturday or Sunday,
but not the chin.
Yeah, those Saturday the morning games.
Blonde goatee guy.
I am blonde, but
I mean, like, grow out the goatee, the blonde goatee.
It's gross, man.
Did you ever have that?
Yeah, in the summer, it looked disgusting.
This summer?
Yeah, I think it was when I was away.
I guess we were all like away in the summer.
Yeah. It was gross. It was just like absolutely disgusting. But yeah, like it was a busy weekend, and losing that hour. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I got to the studio yesterday. I'm like, oh.
We got to talk about this for a second.
What?
Like, how does losing 1 hour of sleep impact like an adult man with like no kids or anything so much?
Child first.
It really hits you that hard, eh?
It did. Well, it was a busy weekend. Like we were going pretty hard, right?
Because
like,
what time were you guys on for pregame in the morning? Like
9 and then 9:30, and then we also had to record. So we had trade deadline day.
We
did Hello Hockey Friday afternoon. Check it out. Great episode, by the way. If you haven't heard, we talked to Bill Scott. He gave us some insight into the Oilers deadline.
About nice guys.
Great guy. And then we also got his thoughts on what Vegas did. Actually, pretty interesting to hear what Bill had to say.
What did he say? Like,
I'm not going to give it away because I want people to watch and listen to the show. But basically, he's like, man, it's within the rules. And if there was a problem, then, teams would say something. And he's like, to my knowledge, nobody has had an issue, because they're playing within the parameters of the CBA. And so he obviously went into it a little bit more than that. And then Pagnotta was great. Pagnotta had a day on Friday. Like, that guy was breaking trades live on the air on NHL Network. And then he hopped on with us and gave a great breakdown. And he went into, he ripped Craig Conroy in a nice way.
Did he?
Yeah, he basically said that McCrimmon and George McPhee absolutely owned Craig Conroy in that sly little detail for the first rounder to slip to 2026 instead of 2025, right?
Well, I guess they still came away with their 2024.
They did.
So
yeah.
I guess they could have. They must not have wanted to move that. This is why they put the caveat on the 25 going to 26, as opposed to just being like, we'll just give you our 24.
Right. And Pagnotta said that they clearly had that play in mind the whole time. So that's good strategy.
Okay, so what's that about? Like, why do you think they're so hard on keeping the 24 and moving the 25, 26? Is that, do they? Oh, I know why. They're hosting the draft.
There you go.
Yeah, that's why. I totally blanked for a second. They're hosting the draft. It's at the Sphere. They're going to want their pick. So that's why they pushed the 25. They pushed the 26. They were probably told there's no move in the 24.
Yeah.
So they're like, you know what? But
they'll do,
masterclass.
They will take that pick at the Sphere. It'll get a raucous ovation in what is supposedly a fabulous venue, which went to.
They should step up and trade it, dude.
Well, they'll trade that player like within 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like you look at their first rounders and where they are now, it's like none of them are Golden Knights. I think one of them is.
Well, and that's why it comes back around to, like, be aggressive.
Move
your bloody picks.
Yeah.
Like, look at the Oilers have held on to a bunch of their picks. Jesse Puljujarvi didn't work out.
No.
Kyler Yamamoto didn't work out.
No, not really.
Borgo. Tell me how Borgo's going.
Hey, it's only his second year in the minors. That's why.
But what's that going to become? He's going to be a third liner one day?
Maybe.
Broberg.
That's
what are you, 5 years now into Broberg?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Move these picks. Go all in. And they didn't go all in.
Well, I agree with you. Now, I don't think.
Are you going to try to justify?
I'm not justifying anything. I'm just predicting what happens when they move these picks. Broberg, however that saga is. There's going to be, and I don't think the Oilers really are factoring this into their decision making about their assets, but there will be a chorus of people, maybe a vocal minority that's a terrible asset management. I'm not going to disagree with that.
Vocal minority.
Yeah, but they get a lot of attention around here, and it's fun. It makes our jobs a lot of fun, and I look forward to that, to be honest, because we get to deal with the fallout and chaos, and that's part of the fun of what we do.
Fallout and chaos is kind of what we were dealing with on Friday during the deadline special of the Oil Stream. Thank you to everybody who checked in for that. We will have a keyword for you to get in the draw for a trip to Vegas. That's coming up just after 12:30 today. You'll get the keyword. You'll text it in. It'll pop up on the screen, or if you're listening on TuneIn or on iHeart, you can slide on in there as well. And we'll give you an opportunity to get in. Don't worry, we give you more than like 30 seconds to get in. You have like 3 to 5 minutes to text in. Maddie back at the EST Global headquarters will find a qualifier and we'll call them before the end of the show today. We'll start with the weekend, then we'll get into the overall vibe on the trip. 2-0 lead. Really nice start against Buffalo.
Great start.
Like, for a team that doesn't start well. That Draisaitl pass to McLeod was insane. Probably one that should have been stopped, but still, I mean, ridiculous pass.
Yeah.
They get up 2-0, and then they lose twice. They lose in overtime, and again in a shootout. What happened there? How did they not put away the Buffalo Sabres?
That was a great question, and I think that they started playing the way they did on Thursday in Columbus. Like, they just were like, all right, we got the lead. Buffalo's not great, and we're just going to coast the rest of the way. And Buffalo has good players. Like, the team isn't good, struggling, obviously, but they have good players. You can't leave Tage Thompson. Listen, I know that was a bouncing puck on the Tage Thompson goal, but you can't. I think it was like Nugent Hopkins to try to knock it down. They got sloppy, and then the Bryson goal to tie it up was absolutely horrendous. And then the coverage, like the perfect example of where the team's game went and how they were playing and their mentality at the end of that game. Just look at the power goal in OT that was eventually disallowed by a fraction too. I was like, that was called off. Anyway, you see Zach Hyman peel off, and then you have Darnell Nurse stay in front. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was watching his guy where he should have been. Yeah. And I'm like, where's Zach Hyman going? And then Owen Power with 8 seconds left, can just walk in 45 feet and just blast one. It's like, well, what do you expect? It's stupid. It's terrible, like sloppy, boneheaded mistakes. And I think they started playing too much like they did on Thursday in Columbus. So they had one good period in the first, and then they just got sloppy, and it cost them. So you know what? Doesn't matter how bad the team is overall. Like the Buffalo Sabres, they have good players, and you let them do that, they're going to score.
Okay, what about the bounce back then against Pittsburgh?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Good job. Nicely done. That's how you take care of business. That was to be expected, and at least we weren't talking about anything being close. Or we did have a few people be like, well, they had them at 2-0, and they didn't put their foot and stomp on the throat.
I was watching the post game yesterday when you're like, Jack for a while was like, the Penguins are hanging around.
Yeah, that's just Jack trying to sell the game,
I know.
and he loves the Pittsburgh Penguins,
when
right?
When he
that's
does
all
that,
it is.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, you're not selling me on it. I'm still just watching this.
Oh, there's Brett.
Oh,
yeah, look at this.
Surveyor Brett.
Look at this animal.
There we go. Here, Brett, give me your
You just
phone.
want a picture with Dustin. How rude.
Here we go. Yeah, there we go.
What are you doing?
I just took a picture with me and him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow, thanks. Yeah, good.
You guys just come by for a pic?
You guys aren't eating?
Hey, the city needs to be surveyed. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Hey,
yeah.
Let's survey some stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That's
good to see the boys.
Let's screen cap that a
yeah,
little bit later
that
on.
was great. Big Uke's loving it. Big, what you got there?
What'd you order,
you got
buddy?
A banquet?
Brute. Classic. Huss would be proud.
That's a nice lid, too. I like that hat.
That's just a straight up Edmonton lids.
That's an Oilers hat. The hat.
That's real nice.
Bring it over here. This is a good one. I like where they're getting a little creative with these ones. Big Uke's rocking this bad boy right now.
Yeah, that's a nice looking lid.
It's got Edmonton and nice like embroidery. It's a Fanatic. Surprisingly, they did a good job with it. And then it's got the logo on the side.
If you hold it by your balls, can we see it?
Big Uke's like, I'm surprised they spelled Edmonton right.
There's no D. It's just, it's just Edmonton. Edmonton.
That's a nice cap. That's
I like that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Your comments, obviously, to the Nasty Chat, or you can text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And, well, there's one from Big Uke. This is great. The trip and deadline, get the same grade, be at best. Got 5 points, beat Boston. Refresh, reset at home here. Huge game against Colorado coming up.
That's good.
I like that one. What are you laughing at?
I'm loving a Pat in the county. He's like, Tommy, you have surveyed before. Man, you got the lingo.
Yeah.
I have not. I have no clue. I'm terrible with mathematics. So.
Okay, so I described the road trip on Twitter yesterday as meh. And I had some people come back to me and be like, they got 5 of a possible 8 points.
Yeah.
But it just felt very meh-ish.
It was very meh-ish.
Like, I know the end result was 5, but
it was a poop sandwich.
It wasn't a great trip.
Yeah, like you had a good start, and then you had a bad middle, and then you had a good finish. And they squandered points. They shouldn't have lost to Boston, Buffalo and Columbus. They beat Boston. That was a great start to the trip. They played good. They played tenacious. They hung in there with the Bruins and get them to OT. Like that's a momentum builder, and you get that 5-game heater, and you're like, all right, look, you could turn this thing into an 8-game heater. People were talking about that, and then they just lay an egg in Columbus, and it was funny. I mentioned it on the Hangout earlier today. We had a couple of texts being like, well, you guys let them off the hook for that loss in Columbus, but still worried about how this team's play. It's like, well, and I got Cass and Belsey to kind of, they can describe it and articulate it better. You know, it's a weird time, the deadline, and you get the new guys in there, and plus you're playing a Columbus team that isn't particularly great, although they did smack around the Golden Knights a couple nights prior.
That's a couple nice wins for Columbus.
We had Brian Hedger on from the Columbus Dispatch, and he's like, you know what, this isn't a good team, but they're not afraid of anyone. They don't back down from anyone, so they're going to give the Oilers a tough go. And sure enough, they did. Like that's on the team in the room for stinking out the joint. And then, you know, they start great in Buffalo, and you're like, okay, they're back on track. And then they go back to playing like they did in Columbus. And so I understand some of the sentiment that we saw on the post-game shows, especially after the losses. But the one I laughed at was someone's like, I'm really worried about the way this team's playing. You know, they're not playing particularly great. I'm like, wait a sec. They just had a 5-game winning streak snapped. They're playing okay. They're good enough to win. I think they're in the top 5 TSN power rankings still with the Jets.
They were number 2.
Yeah.
Right before the deadline, I think, with the Florida Panthers at number 1. Like,
what were they, 40 in the last 43 games prior to yesterday? I think it was 33-9-1 was the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been cruising.
Yeah.
Well, we said anyway. I think we said it on Friday. Like, And who said it today? We had somebody. Oh, it might have been Rashad. Yeah, it was Rashad when he was on today. He goes, this could have been other teams trying to catch up to what the Edmonton Oilers have been doing for the last 40 games. Right? Like other teams are looking around the league going, what do we need to do? And we as in not the Oilers,
but
in other teams is saying we.
Yes.
What do we need to do to keep pace with the Edmonton Oilers or to stop the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs? I know some of you have a hard time believing that, but with how good they've been for the last 3 months, I mean, that's a legitimate discussion.
They've been the best team since mid-November, but are we saying that they're a complete team or a perfect? No, they're not. They need to fine-tune some things. They need to get Henrique going. They need to figure out what combination they want to use on the fourth line. Is their defense great? No. Is it adequate? Most of the time. Is it going to light you up and make you think, wow, look at that defense? No. But I think they're good enough. And you're right. That is a good reminder, is like, look how good they have been. It's interesting. You look at the Henrique and Carrick and Stetcher ads, and people are like, wow, remember we were grading them at the deadline, and we were joking about how they went from a B to a C+ just because of what Vegas did. Yeah,
I know.
But is it going to be, it's not the big moves that people had hopes and aspirations for, but are they the right moves? And the proof will be in the pudding in these last 20 games.
Check this out. I got water here, and my wife, I'm drinking water. But look at this straw. I love these straws.
Oh,
you got one too.
Yeah,
it's the stretchy. It's got the stretchy turn thing on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it didn't work.
Good iced tea.
I think I ruined my straw by stretching it.
Way to go.
I'm gonna have to push it back together. Let's see.
Yeah. Did you order food?
Nope,
No,
still ruined.
Big you,
still
man.
ruined.
Oh,
still
he's
ruined.
crushing it.
All right. Hit us up in the nasty chat. Let's get to it. Tommy, they said that you guys were talking a lot about cartoons over the weekend.
Well, yesterday morning, because it was like 9 and we were exhausted, and we were just talking about what we grew up watching on weekends, and it was a lot of like remember My Pet Monster?
Nope.
Great show. Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Never heard
Teddy
of it.
Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Friendly Giant. Sesame Street. Mr. Dress Up. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Like
Raccoons.
Oh, I forgot about Raccoons.
Raccoons.
Yeah, Babar.
Oh,
Tintin.
Dude,
hello. Here we go. What's up, guys? All right, people nasties are showing up.
The Babar was a good one.
Babar, yeah.
Babar.
And are you saying Babar?
I'm saying Babar.
It wasn't Babar?
I know. I thought that show should have got some more.
And who was the rhino? Retaxas?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Man, I like Babar.
Babar.
I don't know. How do you say it? How did you say it back then? Babar. I know. I always said Babar.
Are you
just like,
right
yeah.
now?
That's how I always said.
Babar.
That's what I always said. All right. Ooh, Demko out 3 to 2 weeks.
Yes.
Duke on that one.
Yes. Thank you,
That's
Big
good.
Duke. I saw that.
All right. Keep these thoughts rolling in. Zedmo says reffing was fair in Buffalo. The NHL's the best refs in the league. Skinner was so bad in Buffalo.
It was just the one goal that I thought was horrendous.
Well, but we do have to have a Pickard conversation.
What about him?
Like 41 save shutout.
He's got team shutout.
No, screw that.
Yeah.
If he would have made, thank you. If he would have, I'm not going to. Oh, it's not stretchy. There we go.
There, you got it.
Excuse me. Can I get some Thai chicken bites too? Please. Thank you.
I'll wait. Thank you very much. I like how she said no.
I know. She's a real trickster over here. This one.
I know.
So 919 save percentage.
Yes.
2.27 goals against
right.
average. Smaller sample size, better numbers than Skinner. You can't cut it. But now Skinner's numbers since Knobloch took over would put him up in that same sort of level.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But they got 19 games left. How can Pickard play Pickard 6 times?
Absolutely.
Right? Like
he's
6-7 times. Like
yes, he's reliable, and that's the beauty of him emerging, and that's why you got honorable mention in our rankings of importance going into the season from us on the Oil Stream. But this should be able to give them the confidence to start him a few more times and then not burn Skinner out. And I know Skinner said he didn't feel burnt out last year, but his play didn't suggest that.
It looked like it.
Especially down the stretch. And even people on the not on the team, in the organization, were saying, maybe we overplayed him too much in the stretch, and especially in the playoffs it started to show. Plus the first test of the playoffs for Skinner last year, and there were cracks. So what I like about him, and what has been encouraging with him, is He's rising to the occasion. Prior to, the Buffalo with the stinker that Bryson scored, he played great against Seattle. And then he followed that up with another solid performance against Boston. So good signs there. Is it perfect? Again, no. But Pickard has been excellent. But you know what? Here's the other thing, too, is after they lost to Columbus, people are like, you can't trust Pickard. Get Campbell. So the people that say get Campbell up here, I took with a grain of salt. But people are dumping on Pickard a little bit after the Columbus game. It wasn't his fault. The team played like garbage in front of him.
All right, let's get to this Demko news because it changes the conversation for the Edmonton Oilers on the top spot in the Pacific. Farhan Lalji, friend of EST, says, I'm told it's a knee injury for Demko. Rick, that would be Tocchet, confirms it's not anything he's dealt with previously. #Canucks. That's from Farhan. Demko was injured during Saturday's 5-0 win over the Winnipeg Jets. They were down 4-0, I think, when he ended up leaving that game midway through the they were up 4-0 when he left that game midway through the second period. Casey DeSmith will now slide in. Demko's been outstanding so far this year. 49 games for the Canucks this season. He is 34-13-2 with a .917 save percentage, a 2.47 goals against average. And, of course, those are numbers that are just below what Pickard is bringing to the table right now for the Edmonton Oilers. That's just a fact.
I know.
It's just a fact.
I know.
But with Demko missing 2 to 3 weeks here, do the Edmonton Oilers win the Pacific?
They might. I mean, they can't gas games like they did in Buffalo and Columbus, but a real opportunity. Plus, when they play Vancouver, I think just for the sake of the Oilers and their mental well-being.
When is that game against the Canucks?
It's late. I got to double-check the schedule.
It's in April, isn't it? He could be back by then.
But let's take a look at the standings as of today. Edmonton, 81 points. So 10 points back, 3 games in hand. They do face the Canucks one more time. And again, they've got schooled 3 times by Vancouver already this season. I think it's possible. I mean, you go in, you have a good homestand here. They have an opportunity. The big game of this homestand is definitely Saturday against the Avs, but take care of business against Washington. You've got a nice week here where you have 1 game in 5 days, and you can kind of get under. You can get your legs up. What's the saying?
Get your wits about you.
Wits about you, and get your feet under you. Yeah,
feet underneath you.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that now. So they have the day off today, and go out there, rest, recoup, have a good practice tomorrow, and then beat the wheels off of Washington, and then go and face Colorado, see where you stack up, and then take care of the rest of the homestand before you hit the road for a couple. So a real opportunity, definitely. Like, you look at the schedule the rest of the month, that's you get the Eastern Canadian teams next week after this homestand's done, and you have a chance to make some hay. It's doable. Vancouver's been really good all season, though, and I like they didn't add much. It was interesting to see that they're thinking about flipping Lindholm.
Their deadline sucked.
They've been excellent all year long. The consistency has been there. So,
yeah, but how much of that has to do with Demko?
We'll find out. We're going to find out.
I think the door has been opened for the Edmonton Oilers to track down the Vancouver Canucks.
We'll find out.
Which would get them a date with Vegas in the first round of the playoffs.
Does that scare you if you're the Oilers?
To play Vegas?
Golden Knights?
I mean, yeah, anybody who plays Vegas should probably be scared of the defending champs. So, yeah, it's not ideal. Huss kind of brought it up today. He's like, if Vegas can track down the Kings, where do you come out on the Kings or Vegas? And I said, we could post a poll question right now. 100% of the vote would say they'd rather the Oilers play the Kings than the Vegas Golden Knights.
That's the juicy opportunity, I think, in oil country is the LA Kings, and looking at them and their lack of goaltending and stuff. Mikey Anderson making his return tonight. That's a good sign for the Kings. He's been out for the last little while. But I think there's going to have to be a realization, or people maybe already realize it. It's like, listen, outside of LA and even Nashville's crushing it right now. Any team you face in the West,
past those other teams.
Yeah, any team you face in the West this postseason is going to be a monster hurdle. We're going to see some great battles in the Western Conference playoffs this year.
All right, you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. From a sports station perspective, Josh Jacobs to the Green Bay Packers, which is interesting. Is Aaron Jones still there too? Are they going to roll Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones? That's interesting. It looks like he's still there.
Yeah, he's there.
I don't know if that'll continue. It seems weird to have both Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs, but something to keep tabs on there. That news just kind of moving on a busy day in the National Football League. Some comments on Pickard that we were looking at a little bit earlier on. Zedmo says Pickard looks like a legit 1B and not a number 2. Is that taken a little bit too far? I feel like it might. Like, I've been sitting here praising his numbers, better numbers than Demko.
He deserves praise. He's
I don't know
very, very good.
I don't know if I think we just need to be happy with starting goalie, backup goalie. Doesn't need to be a 1A and 1B. We saw Koskinen and Smith forever in this 1A, 1B that was actually a 2A, 2B conversation. So I don't know. I think it's probably just a little too soon.
But I think looking at what Zedmo said, that's a good sign. I think that's an indicator that maybe people are starting to see the value in Pickard, and they're getting away from when's Campbell getting called up. I think that died a few weeks ago, thankfully. But now I think that's an indicator saying, all right, this guy is good, and we understand what he brings to the table, and he's been very serviceable and better than that. But I wouldn't label him a 1B. I would just say he's a good backup goalie. He's getting you wins behind a good team.
Yeah, exactly. D. White is in and says if Pickard only plays 6 more games, that puts Skinner at 60 starts this season. And that's kind of inevitable, though, at this point, isn't it?
Right. And we were concerned, 2 weeks ago, if Skinner was going to creep up into the 65 game area. But if he's at around 60, I think that's kind of, it's like, all right, that's starter status. Good for him. His second full year in the NHL, especially if he handles it well, which he has been.
Guys, I'm all for the Oilers taking the Pacific and then facing the Predators in the first round. Of all that, well, except the Preds have been the hottest team in the league lately. I don't know.
There's going to be no easy out. I agree.
Well against Nashville,
ideally, you get LA with how things are going there, but it's going to be great. Like, we're going to see some teams beat the living piss off of each other.
Jaster 1990 says, guys, I'd rather take Vegas. Perfect. Yeah, you just throw them right here.
Oh, look at you.
Some quick
hungry boy.
I love it. Oh, hungry boy.
He's a hungry boy.
I've been up since like 4:20 this morning.
Yes.
Although my wife did make me a lunch today.
Really?
This is a new thing. Now I'm still having lunch because I already ate my lunch.
What did Tam make you?
Well, so we were talking over the weekend, and she's like, you have to stop eating 2 breakfast sandwiches every day. And I was like, I know, it's not good. So then I said, well, make me a lunch when you make the kids lunch. So whatever she gave the kids, I had a sandwich today. So, and I brought it into my Montreal Canadiens lunch kit that I've had since I was like 21 years old, which is still old to have a lunch kit, but I had one for some reason.
Oh my God. Never changed.
Yeah, I had grapes and cheese and that almond bar on the way in,
which is great.
And then after the morning show today, I had a turkey and cheese sandwich and some vegetable thins.
Did you get fruit
snacks?
Then
I came here and got Thai chicken bites.
Yeah, man. As you should.
Yeah, no, but I said to the boys today when I was eating my lunch at like 9:30 this morning, I said, how did I not get a juice box? Right? I'm going to ask her now. I'm going to go buy my own juice boxes. I'm going to start having juice boxes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. Lots of reaction on Pickard. Caster 1990 says, guys, I'd rather take Vegas than the Kings. As Low Tide likes to say, regression to the mean suggests the Kings are due for a playoff win against the Oil. That would be if they were to play the Kings in the first round and lose to Talbot and or Riddick. That is disastrous end to the season.
Correct. I don't think it would happen. Anything can happen in the postseason, but I don't know. Vegas, I am thinking is going to ramp it up here. I know they've been playing poorly of late, and they've struggled, and they've dealt with some injury issues, and clearly taken full advantage of that cap-wise. But
we laugh about it now. Yeah. But when Mark Stone rolls out for a round 2 matchup against the Oilers, people are going to lose their mind.
With Alec Martinez beside him and Tomas Hertl.
Why don't they just, once again, these guys have Bill Scott on Hello Hockey. Check that out. But why don't they just say, when you drop the puck on a playoff game, you have to be cap compliant?
I don't mind that at all.
Like if anybody,
but they were last year.
I know
that's
that.
the thing is people. They were
Tampa
last year,
though, were they? I don't think.
I can't remember. I just know that Vegas was because people were bringing that up
every single game.
They were apparently. Zedmo follows up with behind a good team. Who's carried away now? Zedmo. They went 43-9-1 or 33-9-1 in a 43 game stretch. I think that's a good team. I don't know. You tell me, but come on.
Not as good as these. Thai chicken bites at Boston
Those
Pizza.
smell delicious.
But
I am getting
pretty
hungry.
good team. Pretty good team.
Come on. Like, there's still people that look at this team and go, that not good. They're not good.
Mitchie R says, come to Beverly Boston Pizza next. Now that's North Side.
That is.
Our next Boston Pizza is 2 weeks from now in Beaumont. I think we're going down to Beaumont 2 weeks from now. We can't stay overnight because they don't have hotels in Beaumont. But we can pop out for lunch.
Is that a real thing?
100% a thing.
They don't have any hotels?
There's no hotels in Beaumont.
It's like a growing suburb of Edmonton. How does it not have a hotel?
It's against rules out there.
What?
Yeah, there's like some neon sign rule, I was told. And yeah, that's happened.
Interesting.
Can you believe that? Imagine if you're there and you're very tired.
I would need a place to stay. Although I have a few friends that live out there.
You do, eh? My buddy Patty lives out there.
Patty Ketty?
Yeah.
Well, they have was it Mom's Donaire?
Yeah, Maina's.
Yeah, that's his mom. Tube Socks yells at us, not good enough, Tommy. I agree. Tube Socks was getting mad at the negativity over the weekend from some fans of the team.
How does that happen? Like, how can you be surprised by negativity of the fan base after a loss? Like, it's ridiculous. It should be 100% expected.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our keyword. I don't know if Maddie's kicking around back there, but we do have a keyword. He's already put it up. I didn't even get to say it. That's called moving quickly on the gun.
Did you get to it? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Today's keyword on the oil stream today is F1. You just have to text in F1, the number F, the letter F, the number 1. Just F1, as you see on the screen. Or if you're listening on TuneIn or on iHeart, just text in F1 right now to the inbox, and you will go into the draw.
The number F and the letter 1, F1.
We are qualifying so many people for this thing.
This is awesome.
This is going to be busy. Be busy. We're doing 7 weeks of qualifying, I think. All right, so the key word for the oil stream today is F1. Just text in F1. You'll go into the draw. We will draw one of your names. We will call you. Make sure you are by your phone. We will call you. You will qualify to get your name into the draw for a trip to Vegas that we're going to give away, teaming up with FlyYEG. Your sports trip starts with a nonstop flight from FlyYEG. Also, the LVCVA hooking us up with tickets to Cirque Show accommodations. So it'll be 2 nonstop flights, 3 nights accommodations, plus the Cirque Show tickets. You can book at any time over the next year. You just have to book within 2 months to pick when you're going to go in the next year. Amazing setup.
I would go to the Beatles 1 at Mirage.
That would be your show?
That would be my show. That's the one I want to see.
Have you seen that? You haven't seen that one?
I've never been to a Cirque du Soleil, but I've heard they're phenomenal.
Cirque shows are awesome. I've been to 2.
Yeah.
We did Love, I think.
Or is it Beatles Love? Or is it 1? Love.
I can't remember.
The Beatles one, whatever it is. I want to go see that. I love their music.
Can't remember the other one.
I think
we've done both of them.
Yeah.
So, F1. F1. That is your keyword. You have about 3-5 minutes to get in. We'll call a qualifier at the end of the oil stream today. All right. So the keyword today, F1. Text that in. Your next chance to qualify tomorrow morning in the second hour of the Nielson show.
Hey, some people are doing it via the nasty chat. Has to be texted in.
Pay attention.
I also saw Joaquin Gage text in.
Gage, you're not eligible.
You're not eligible. What are you, crazy?
Gage, you're not eligible.
And then my buddy Todd Duffin works for CCM. Can I tell a story about Duff? Because he's like Patty. He's friends with Patty.
Can I continue?
Yes. Duff, I'm going to tell this story because Duff and I, we used to play in a golf tournament together every summer with all the like equipment managers and from the WHL, some NHL guys. It was a lot of fun. We go to Saskatoon.
I know this tournament. You always talk about this tournament.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The 4 rounds Ryder Cup. It's great. And great prizes and stuff like that. And we have an awesome time. Usually about 16 guys, somewhere around there. Duff probably knows Patty because through Brewhouse. And Duff was such a regular before he found his wife, got married, had a kid. He was a regular that he just like said, here's my credit card. Put like 1,000 on my tab, and then he would just roll in. Buddy, and they just like rack it up.
That's a problem.
He's a great guy. Sorry, Duff. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus.
He would just put out 1,000.
He'd just be like, It was just like he'd always have a tab there, and he would pay it at the end of every month. He's in town. I'm probably going to see him tonight. So Duff, I'll see you tonight, pal.
Well, that's nice then.
He says, "Better be thirsty, Tommy. I'm coming in hot."
Uh-oh. I feel like somebody's going to Kelly's tonight. And look at this guy.
Was that Kelly's on Friday?
Oh, I
think.
thought you hadn't been there in a while.
No, I reappeared there. It was great. It's good to see the crew.
All right, we are at Boston Pizza. We're on game day. $5 off medium pizzas during the game. All Boston Pizza lounges. So make sure you swing on by there. Portions of the Oil Stream also brought to you by Popeyes, Louisiana Kitchen. If you've not yet tried the wings at Popeyes, you are missing out. It really doesn't make a lot of sense why you would not have tried the wings at Popeyes. They're amazing. Like if you like the chicken sandwich, you like the blackened chicken sandwich,
breaded.
You're going to love the wings.
Delicious.
I would think 2 of those wings could be a sandwich in itself.
They're big and they're breaded and they're juicy and the flavors are great.
I like to get wings and then share them with my family. Just one wing. What are we having for dinner tonight, Daddy? We're sharing one Popeyes wing. And they're like, oh, that's always too much.
Daddy, I'm full.
Yeah.
Look at Patty's in.
You want to give me more dirt on Duff? Yeah, maybe. I'll have to find out. Yeah, that's. Hey, could you just preemptively give me $1,000 tap? I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but what type of degen does that?
Duff didn't want to cook.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
but that's crazy. I mean, that's.
But he had such a good relationship with the brew house in Saskatoon that when we were there, like we would go there every morning before our rounds. And they would make they'd open it just for us and have like a full breakfast spread. And it was all because of Duff.
Big Mike from the Grove is in and says, I had to pull my earbud out to talk to my boss and I missed the word. You still got a little bit of time. The word's F1. F1. And
the letter
text that in.
1 and the number F, as Dusty put it.
Sorry. Yeah. It's like some Sesame Street sponsorship. Today's keyword is brought to you by the letter F and the number 1. F1.
Yeah.
Text that in.
Yeah.
This text is in today. And this is the reality check. I don't know where I guess I come out on this. Because at this point with this team, you have to throw them to higher standards. Like you have to hold them to higher standards.
Yeah.
Right. You just have to. So that's why I described the road trip as meh.
It was meh.
It was an easy road trip.
Yeah.
And they almost didn't win against Boston. Nude saved the day.
Yes.
But that was a pretty well played.
That was a good win.
Columbus sucks. They don't even want to win games. You lost to them. Buffalo, if I would have viewed this trip entirely differently if they were down 2-0 to Buffalo, came back and got a point.
Right.
But they were up 2-0 to Buffalo.
Right.
Anyway, this text is and says, do these fans not remember when the team would be eliminated by December for the playoffs? I know the team's not perfect, but try and enjoy the 97 and 29 years. We paid dearly for them.
They really did.
Right?
Yeah.
You suffered through a lot. To get them.
Yep.
And now you have them. But now you have this standard where you're like, yeah, but they should win Stanley Cups now.
Yes, that's fair.
And they're in a spot where they could win a Stanley Cup this year. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Get to more of your nasty chats, more of your text messages, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. What are you?
I'm laughing at Patty. Patty says, it's weird. Duff doesn't pay anything when he's here.
Sewering this guy.
Duff also paid our electrical bill in Saskatchewan.
Portions of the Oil Stream brought to you by One Putt Virtual Golf. 6 Trackman bays. If you've not yet checked them out, if you've got a big event coming up, get it done at One Putt. 30 golfers, up to 40 people at One Putt. We're talking stags. We're talking team events. We're talking group events. What about like all the parents from a hockey team leave the kids at home? I mean, with proper supervision.
Sure.
And then go hit the links at One Putt. Get ready for the upcoming season.
How about some practice time if you want to, because we're getting close here. I think, driving ranges will probably open in a few weeks. Weather this week looks great. If you're following Environment Canada, not Weather Network, according to Murray McCourt, but he says we're a couple of weeks away.
If anybody cares about weather, it's that guy.
Yes, he does. Very much so. So, yeah, go to One Putt, work on that swing, be ready to go by the time
looking at the website right now, it looks ridiculous.
Yep.
www.oneputt.ca or find them on Insta at OnePutt YEG over there as well. 780-218-9999. Where do we come out on this the weather line? Or somebody called it today the Weather Network or the Weatherman.
The Weatherman?
The Weatherman's not bad.
Yeah, it's like dry, but foggy and cloudy.
Cloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did they say? Is it clouder?
Yep.
Dry.
Fo-
And do they call nobody
Foggy.
calls him foggy?
They
really,
don't
do
call him foggy.
That's the only hesitation I have on it, but I like it. As a guy who's very pro NHL nicknames, I like the idea of the weather line, the weather network. I mean, what is the best variation of it? Weather line, weather network, the weatherman.
The weatherman.
The weather network's not bad.
I think that's good.
I like the weather network.
The weather network. So we had some people texting in when that line was reunited, and they're like, what are you talking about depth at forward? The second line has 2/3 liners on it. First of all, you got Leon Draisaitl on the second line, and those two wingers are helping him play better.
They are.
They play with pace, and I think the last couple of games, they've been their best line. It's okay. Like, they have depth. They have options. They have flexibility. Actually, for parts of yesterday's game, didn't mind Henrique, Perry, and Kane.
Yeah, it's a different line entirely.
They need to figure each other out still.
Could be some chemistry there.
Yeah.
They're not going to get things done playing the game at a high pace or a high speed.
Kane can skate. Kane's kind of been painted as a guy that doesn't skate well or move well, but he does. He skates the best out of those.
It's not all the time.
Right, when he wants to. That's the problem. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So how long do you think that stays together?
I don't know.
Like, do they leave McLeod and Fogle with Draisaitl for the rest of the regular season?
No, I don't think that happens. They'll lose a game or two, and we'll see a tweak, and then we'll go, because we have this conversation every time.
Do you think that's actually necessary? Like,
what?
Or can you just lose a game and leave lines together?
Okay, let's look at the tendencies that Chris Knobloch has. When they're down in games, what does he do? He usually tinkers with the lines, right? And then what does he do to go into the next game? Usually keeps those lines together. So that's a tell of his, right? And depending on how that game goes, the outcome dictates how the lineup looks. And he doesn't just leave them. He always tinkers something. So I don't have any hope. It's not even hope, but I don't think one bit that he's going to keep these lines together. There's going to be some variation of them. Maybe pairs, McDavid, Hyman, right? Draisaitl doesn't have he's not really paired up with anybody. I don't know.
Let's get to this text message here. Guys, after losing, I love this. After losing an OT, then getting a second chance in Buffalo, I was expecting more urgency in the shootout.
Okay. Noted.
How do you recognize urgency in the shootout? Is that just like McDavid doing a better move?
Going
is that basically
faster?
what that is? Going faster?
No, I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever heard anybody describe them as being not urgent enough in the shootout.
To that texter, I hear you, and I'll leave it at that. I don't know how you bring up the urgency. What's weird too is those guys were probably in the shower already, because that's how quickly they get undressed.
Yeah, that's probably
so.
This text is in from Side Hustle Cole. He says, "What Boston Pizza are you guys at?" We're at the Namao Boston Pizza, just up 97th Street, just south of 167th Ave.
Mm-hmm.
If you're heading north, it is on the right. If you want to swing on by, this suggestion comes in 780-218-9999. What about the climate line? You like that better than the weather line? I think the weatherman's probably my favorite thing. Get the weatherman out there. Let the weatherman have a shift.
The weatherman,
right? Or let the weather network.
Climate would be like disasters. So you'd need somebody that would be like a hurricane, a tsunami, tornado, names like that. I think the weathermen or weather line.
Like, what happens when there's a combination of fogginess, dryness, and clouds? Like, what does that create?
It can't be foggy and dry at the same time. There's fog because there's moisture that.
Damn it! You are smart with weather, Tommy.
Not always. I just listen to Josh Clausen. He's a good man. And
big,
a great
Maple
weatherman. Sports
Cards. This is an interesting suggestion. Clausen's Angels. I don't hate that.
That's great.
You know who's been great for the Oilers in this Stanley Cup run? Clausen's Angels.
Clausen's Angels.
Clausen's Angels. They've been great.
Like a gift from God.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeg Welder guy just keeps hitting us with NFL news. Says Kirk Cousins to the Falcons appears to be a done deal.
Oh wow. I don't buy Kirk Cousins hype.
I don't mind Kirk Cousins.
I
don't mind Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins makes Atlanta a hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot better. So now what happens with Justin Fields? Anyway, that's for a different show entirely. We'll get into that tomorrow. Dave Naylor's going to join us tomorrow morning on the Nielsen Show at 7:45, and we'll discuss all these moves in the National Football League. Northside Sandwich says, I like the Moisture Men.
But one of them's dry.
I think Clausen's Angels is better than that
Clausen's
one.
Angels is great.
Clausen's Angels is that's pretty good actually. The dry ice line. Yeah.
Saquon to the Eagles? Or is that Shaquan?
Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon.
Is that actually done? I saw it was linked there earlier on today.
Rip City Step wrote Shaquan, but he meant Saquon. I thought so. I'm like, who's a NFL player named Shaquan?
I'm sure there is one. Tube Socks and it says football talk on the Oil Stream. Well, it's breaking news, man. Kind of got a hit on this stuff a little bit. All right, so Washington's coming up this weekend.
Yes,
we're going to call a qualifier here in about about 5-6 minutes to find out who is the most recent qualifier to get in this draw with Fly YEG off to Vegas. What do you expect from this game against Washington?
How do I look at the Capitals, right? They sold off a bunch of pieces. They still have the legend that is Alex Ovechkin. I mean, they're kind of in the mix still, too, in the East. You don't have to play them hard.
They're hanging around
They're hanging around, yeah. This is one where you can't let your guard down and get sloppy like you did against Buffalo and Columbus. This is one where you should kind of approach it the same way you did Pittsburgh. Like, just go. Quick start. Pace. Outskate them. Get after their goalies.
They're in Winnipeg tonight.
Take advantage of that. Tonight. Well, no, because then they'll have a day between. I keep forgetting it's Monday.
Yeah. It's because of that time change.
All I know is game day and non-game day. That's where we're at right now. Is it game day? No or yes? I don't know.
It's not a game day today.
I know.
Nor tomorrow.
2 non-game days, then a game day, then 2 non-game days.
Just the one game this week.
Yeah.
Think you'll catch up on your sleep?
Yes.
But
what?
Not if you go out all the time.
I don't.
You just said you were exhausted Saturday morning, but you went out to Kelly's Friday night.
Yeah, but I was fine.
I just think you need sometimes to just relax and get some sleep, Tommy. I'm worried about you.
Great this morning.
I'm worried about you, Tommy.
Why?
Well, because you're getting tired.
Because I've worked 48 days in a row.
Yeah. No, that is true. Your hockey team plays a lot.
It does.
The hockey team plays a lot. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Craiger's and says, fellas, what did Tortorella get suspended for?
Did he ever get suspended?
He must have been looking for a suspension.
It was like the 04 reunion night in Tampa. They're getting smoked. He's getting embarrassed. Wes McCauley's being a prima donna. I'm sorry, man. The officials and their egos, and Surveyor Brett's probably listening, rolling his eyes as he surveys stuff out in our fine city. And Kate, Tortorella showed up the officials. Absolutely. Saying he MF'd them really good as he does.
Get out of here. Nope, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not going. F you. You come here and talk to me. So it basically became a standoff between two huge egos. And the officials always win, obviously, and the NHL clamped down on Tortorella. I generally do not defend John Tortorella. I thought it was very amusing what he did. It was clearly against the rules. He earned the suspension, the $50,000 fine. Reading the Flyers CEO's like, I will pay for his $50,000 fine, and we got each other's backs in this organization, and we stand by that. And John had our team's back in a situation that I respect from the NHL, but don't necessarily agree with. I just think it was a pissing match that boiled over, and you know what? It was highly entertaining.
This question is in from Justin.
Thank you.
Does a week where the boys can get practice make a big difference for these new guys? And the review on Henrique so far. I mean,
review on Henrique, I'll just say this: minimal impact, no questions asked. Not even slight. Like he had one shot, I think, in Columbus where it was like, oh, okay, you got a chance. But like outside of that, not very dangerous at all. I was joking that I didn't see him break into a full stride until midway through the Buffalo game. I think, and Cass hit on this a little bit yesterday because I asked about it. I'm like, what's it like when you're catching up with the team on the road? You got to pack up a bunch of stuff. And he's like, well, Henrique's a veteran guy. He's been through it before, but it's still weird, right? It's a time of transition. You don't feel like you get settled in. He's like, now these three guys, Stetcher and Carrick included, get home. The team is settled. Everybody knows their role. The new guys get to know the main team, and then they find their place. They get their accommodations set up. They find out if they can bring their family in or what they want to do, and it starts to feel more like a regular routine. And he said that helps with the mental ease. So with a couple of days of practice, couple of days to get acclimated to Edmonton for these three guys, it'll be a boon for them. And I agree with that. So we'll see. Maybe we start to see the impact of Henrique. If his game, listen, right now he's not giving them anything, right? If it starts to build and you see him getting comfortable and he starts to make plays, finds chemistry with someone who he can pair up with, I don't know, Perry, Kane, whatever. And then that just continues to build towards the postseason. We see him pot a couple of goals, maybe get 10 points in these last, 18, 19 games. Then I think we're in a good spot. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
When you said he's got minimal impact, Two Socks says, so a perfect fit then.
Oh, Steven.
That was good. Zedmo says, Browns had a 60-game tryout. Henrique deserves 20. Mighty Brown.
Zedmo, you totally redeemed yourself.
This is going to sound crazy.
Yeah.
But I like Brown's game lately. There, I said it. I mean, he's never going to score a goal to save his life. But I think he's made some decent plays. I don't understand how a guy who can work as hard as he works can't somehow put a puck in the back of the bloody net. That's crazy to me.
It's rough, man. It's rough. I don't know. I don't think he's going to score. I've downgraded him to Peter Klima. I'm going to reiterate that.
Yeah, from Mike Pekka.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? What's the next step on that one?
Toby Peterson.
Yeah, Toby Peterson. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that one.
Thank you.
Maddie, let me know when you. There we go. Perfect. Good timing. All right, man. That was perfect timing. All right, let's get to our qualifier for that chance to win a trip to Vegas. You will qualify. You'll go into the grand prize draw for a trip that's 3 nights plus 2 nonstop flights from FlyYAG down to Vegas. Tickets to a Cirque show as well. And let's go to Paige, who is our qualifier today. Paige, congratulations on qualifying for a chance to win a trip to Vegas.
Thank you.
Have you been to Vegas before?
I have not. No.
What?
You've never been to
Paige.
Vegas? Oh boy! Now is it like on like a list of things that you want to do, or have you never really been intrigued by Vegas?
No, I definitely want to. I just turned 21 this year, so.
Oh, well,
nice.
I mean, this is right in the wheelhouse then.
Yeah.
And a free trip really helps when you're 21 years old.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, that's excellent. All right. Well, congratulations. Tell your friends that we're qualifying for this bad boy. And, best of luck in winning the grand prize.
Thank you.
Paige, I have one recommendation. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Taco Bell Cantina at 4 a.m.
This guy loves the Taco Bell Cantina.
Yep. Just trust me on this one.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Mark it on the list. Best of luck. There you go. That's Paige. She's our 4th and final qualifier of the day. And guess what? We're going to do it all tomorrow right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I will say this. I did not have 21-year-old female in the mix qualifying the first day. That's great.
Awesome.
I love
you,
it.
Paige.
That's absolutely amazing. Paige, so congratulations. And tell your friends, I don't think there's a better place in the city to try to qualify to win a trip to Vegas than what we're doing here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Great partnership. Huge thank you to Aaron and Margot over at
everybody at FlyYAG.
Yes.
For making it happen, and the LVCVA for hooking us up with accommodations and the tickets to the Cirque show. And like we said, once we announce the grand prize winner, they'll have 2 months to book the trip, but they can book anytime in the upcoming year. So grand prize draw will be done later in April. But yeah, very excited for that here as well. Are you going to have lunch today here?
Yeah, definitely. I'm starving now.
Yeah, are you?
I had my almond Nutrigrain, or what was it?
Yeah, you had the almond
Nature
bar.
Valley.
Nature Valley.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
They're
Almond
great.
Nature Valley bars are the goat of bars right now.
Yeah, no, I need some sustenance here.
You want a Thai chicken bite? Not off my fork, you gross pig. Unbelievable, this guy.
Unbelievable.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
Nasty Chat's been good today. Soapkirk. Next winner will be a 72-year-old Dolores from the Retirement home. So Kirk.
I could see it.
Oh,
I could see it. I love it. That's great. There are so many more people listening than you think are listening. I'll just say that right now.
it's unbelievable. It's crazy. You watch the nasty chat.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, and you see as soon as
really
we give
good.
away the keyword, it's like bah, 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 bah.
Jen has slid in here as well. It says Surveyor Brett put the photo of you guys on Discord. Come check it out, boys. Are you on the Discord?
I went on there. I'm a moderator.
What?
I've got a wrench.
What?
Yeah.
You do have a wrench. Let's take a look here. Do I have a wrench?
I hope so.
I must have a wrench too. There's just so many things to go. I don't even know where to click.
Jen and Joelle were helping me out with
introductions.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. It's neat. I have to deep dive a little bit more into it. That's for sure.
The Nielson show. Our show has its own thing here. So I'm assuming. Let's see. Where's Oil Stream? Is this where Surveyor Brett put it up? There it is. I did find it.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right.
Neato.
So the Discord. Check out the Discord.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a big thing.
It's cool.
In 2024. So that's a good one. Hey, how excited is this city going to be for Saturday night?
I think there's going to be like a bit of a nervousness to it.
Good.
A nervous excitement.
It should be a nervousness.
Yeah, that's going to be a good test,
McKinnon,
man.
McDavid, like the whole thing.
Yep. Ranting. Whatever happens with Landeskog, because they've been very sneaky about it.
I mean, I was surprised he wasn't traded to Vegas prior to the deadline.
That's next year.
Yeah, that could be next year.
Yep.
You're right. Well, that's I can't wait for that game. That's going to be
a huge game,
tremendous game, and we got a team hockey party that night, so I'll probably be watching with a bunch of the other dads.
Wednesday night, Hudson's Bourbon Street, by the way.
Yeah, for the pregame, postgame show on Wednesday night. So you can make sure you can join us over there as well. And 2 weeks from today, Beaumont Boston Pizza. Beaumont, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring a tent and stay overnight.
Not allowed.
Yeah, take this.
Your tent has a neon
Beaumont.
sign.
I've got a tent.
With a neon sign. So
with a neon sign, you can't
will
stay.
Be evicted.
You can't stay there as well. All right, we got the Nielson Show replay coming up. When we do the keyword, don't text in.
Please don't.
I know we're gonna have a bunch of people when we run the keyword and they replay. They're gonna be like, oh, "I'm in." No, it's just from 6 until 1, Monday to Friday. Hello Hockey on Saturday. Check out the most recent episode of Hello Hockey as well with Belzy and Tommy Gazzola. You get bite to eat here.
I will. Are you sticking around?
I'm gonna finish my Thai chicken bites. Talk with Big U for a little bit.
Yeah.
So you have a nice teas. I might have a nice tea actually.
Jocelyn's here.
Yeah, I might do that.
Jay.
All right, that's gonna do it today for the Oil Stream. Thank you very much for joining us. Next chance to qualify for the flyaway with EST, the EST flyaway to Vegas, will be happening tomorrow morning in the 7 o'clock hour on the Nielson Show. So set your alarms and join us tomorrow morning on that front. Oilers and the Capitals on Wednesday. You can join Tommy at Hudson's on Bourbon Street. And like I said, we will be back. What did you touch my leg for?
Lots of GCs to give away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say. Well,
and I distribute them equally.
Yeah, that's right. Sure he does.
I don't disparage.
All right, that's going to do it for the Oil Stream today. For Tommy Gazzola, I am Dustin Nielson. For all of our presenting partners, obviously here at Boston Pizza and Popeyes and One Putt and Cool Bet, where we have the Lock Shop Partner Parlay posted right now over at Cool Bet at, I think, plus 650. You can find that in an exclusive section over at Cool Bet as well. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.